If it wasn't for your vote, we would not have Joe Biden in the White House. That was a constitutional right that you had to send those votes back to the states.
States conduct our elections. You never want to let Washington, D.C. run elections. The Constitution affords no authority for the Vice President or anyone else to reject votes or return votes to the states. Never been done before. Should never be done in the future. I'm sorry, ma'am, but that's actually what the Constitution says. President Trump was wrong about my authority that day, and he's still wrong.
So that is former Vice President Mike Pence in Iowa yesterday, defending himself after a woman falsely claimed he had the constitutional power to block the certification of the 2020 election results, a calm takedown of that conspiracy theory. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Joe. It is Thursday, July 6th. With us this morning, we have U.S. Special Correspondent for BBC News, Katty Kay, the host of Way Too Early, White House Bureau Chief at Politico, Jonathan Lemire, Professor at Princeton University, Eddie Glaude Jr., and MSNBC legal analyst, Danny Savalos. Danny, we got a busy morning for you just ahead. But, John, that was a fascinating moment at the Pizza Ranch in Sioux City, a place a lot of us have been in the campaign trail, where Mike Pence, for all the criticisms we've rightly levied upon him over the last 8 years or so, 7 or 8 years, it was sort of a measured takedown and a point-by-point rebuttal of something that really is prominent, really did take hold, as you write about in your book, The Big Lie, that Mike Pence had the power to, quote, send it back to the states and give the election to Donald Trump.
Yeah, Mike Pence was right there. He did not have that power, and it is a credit to him, with an assist from Dan Quayle,
yes,
unlikely defender of the Republic, that he stood his ground that day and resisted that pressure from Donald Trump, a man whom he had served loyally throughout their 4 years in office, and broke with him at the most important moment. But the fact that he is still now dealing with this 2.5 years later in Iowa, the state where he has placed a bet on his entire campaign, thinking he could do well with the evangelicals there, shows just what an uphill climb he has. And why his poll numbers remain so low, but also just demonstrate the grip that Donald Trump still has on this party and that his lies have completely taken hold. They've been repeated in the conservative media ecosystem. They are on social media wherever you can find. Trump repeats them day after day. He has still, of course, not acknowledged his defeat. And it shows just how dangerous that lie is, and so many Republicans are still willing to believe it.
And that's the point, Eddie. It still is so pervasive. So if you are one of these Republicans taking on Donald Trump in a Republican primary, you go to Iowa, you go to New Hampshire, you go to South Carolina, that's what they're facing every day. People who confront them and say, isn't Donald Trump actually the president? And they hear that and they go, well, how do I take on Donald Trump when everyone whose vote I'm trying to win is so in the grip of everything he tells them?
And, you know, to parse in the grip, it becomes very difficult to figure out how do you convince them otherwise.
Right.
So the facts are what they are. Pence was very forthright, but did he actually convince her?
Right.
And that's the challenge, of course.
That is the challenge. We'll talk.